Happy birthday! I am Azurine.
Yeah, and that's the Conco the Panda. And today, February 15th, is our good friend Halladall's birthday.
And I'm also Azurine with a really late intro.
You're Azzy. Hi, Azzy.
Azzy. Azzy. There you go.
So, Halladall and anybody else who was born today, February 15th, these are things that happened on this day in history on your birthday. In 399 BC, philosopher Socrates is sentenced to death by the city of Athens for corrupting the minds of the youth of the city and for impiety. Had to look that one up. Apparently it means unrighteousness by virtue of lacking respect for a god.
Socrates.
So yeah, he was like probably one of the earliest troublemakers when it came to people who were teaching people things that go against the religion of their culture.
Yeah.
Then we jump way ahead to 1676 AD. Sir Isaac Newton writes to Robert Hooke, "If I have seen further, it is by standing on the shoulders of giants."
Yes, like a giant falco standing above a city.
Oh my! Don't mention stuff like that. 1799, the first U.S. printed ballots authorized in Pennsylvania. Also, I should have mentioned this earlier. Apologies, Hal. A lot of these facts aren't going to be about your neck of the planet, but I can only report on the stuff that I've been able to find online here. I'm hoping that you'll still find this information interesting, and anybody else watching, I hope you find that interesting as well. In 1804, New Jersey becomes the last northern state to abolish slavery.
Yay!
Kind of weird that it took New Jersey the longest out of all the states, but okay, it is what it is. In 1842, the first adhesive postage stamp in the United States, a private delivery company, is in New York City.
Oh.
Then 1848, a 5-year-old African-American girl, Sarah Roberts, is banned from a white school in Boston. Followed by, in 1851, black abolitionists invade Boston courtroom, rescuing a fugitive slave. Next, the following year, in 1852, Great Ormond Street Hospital for Sick Children in London admits its first patient.
Hospital for really, really sick people.
Yes. Sick children, specifically. Then, in 1867, Johann Strauss's Blue Danube waltz premieres in Vienna, Austria.
I like blue. I also
You
like
are blue.
Blue.
In 1869, a charge of treason against Jefferson Davis are dropped.
1969. Nice.
1869.
Oh. 1869. Nice.
Then in 1876, the historic Great Elm in Boston is blown down. I had to look into that one. Apparently it really was a big deal. There's even a plaque there now where it once stood. In 1879, U.S. Congress authorizes women lawyers to practice before the Supreme Court. In 1882, the SS Dunedin, I hope I'm pronouncing that all right, leaves New Zealand for Britain with the first cargo of frozen meat.
Oh, neat.
In 1902, Berlin's U-Bahn, or U-Bahn, short for Underground Railway, is opened. Then in the following year, 1903, the first teddy bear is introduced in America, made by Morris and Rose Mitchum.
Interesting.
Or Michtum, potentially.
Michtum.
In 1906, British Labour Party is founded.
Oh my goodness. Yay for babies.
I don't think that's the right kind of labor. In 1913, the first avant-garde art show in America opens in New York City.
Oh.
And I swear I was not being biased towards New York now that I live here. It just so happens that a bunch of things have happened in our fair
You suppose
state.
they protected that art show with avant-gardes?
Possibly.
That was...
In 1922, Marconi begins regular broadcasting transmissions from Essex.
Oh, nice. I love them with cheese.
In 1932, the third Winter Olympic Games closed at Lake Placid, New York. And as a member of the gold medal winning U.S. four-man bobsledding team, Eddie Egan, who won a gold for boxing in Antwerp in 1920, becomes the only Olympian to win gold medals at both the Summer and Winter Olympic Games in different sports.
Impressive. And
Now,
did you know that a more formal way to refer to bobsledding is Robert sledding?
Oh. Well, I'm not entirely sure if this was just at the time, but I'm presuming that since this was written, most likely well after this happened, that he is still the only person who's ever won gold in both the Winter and the Summer Games. So I think that's pretty amazing. Let's see. And then in 1933, President-elect Franklin D. Roosevelt survives assassination attempt, but Chicago Mayor Anton Cermak is mortally wounded, and he would die on March 29th.
Fascinating.
Then in 1936, Great Britain's 0-0 tie with the U.S. is enough to clinch their first ever Olympic ice hockey gold medal at the Garmisch-Partenkirchen Winter Games, breaking Canada's four straight game gold.
Oh, straight game, you say?
Golden streak. It's Canada's four straight game golden streak.
Oh.
Then in 1939, Lillian Hellman's play The Little Foxes premieres in New York City.
Oh.
Yay, foxes. Like this guy.
Oh, yeah. I know a firefox. Pretty great.
Those aren't the same as foxes, though. Those are red pandas.
Yeah.
Let's see. In 1943, wartime propaganda poster We Can Do It is produced by J. Howard Miller and posted on the walls of Westinghouse Electric and Manufacturing Company's plants in the Midwest.
That's the one with Rosie, the Riveter.
Yes, it is. She's doing one of these. Here you go. Let's see. Then in 1950, Walt Disney's animated film Cinderella premieres in Boston.
Oh, she sits amongst the ashes.
Then in 1964, Beatles' Meet the Beatles album goes #1 and stays #1 for 11 weeks. Then the following year, John Lennon passes his driving test. I thought that was kind of funny.
Yeah.
that happened that way. Also in 1965, the red maple leaf flag becomes the official flag of Canada.
Oh, Canada.
I used to have a Canadian flag, but I don't know what happened to it. It mysteriously disappeared on a way.
It must not have made it into the
home.
box or the tote. Or
Yeah. I could have sworn I put it in there. I don't know what happened. Anyhow, in 1972, sound recordings are granted U.S. federal copyright protection for the first time.
That's pretty wild. I thought it would have been something much, much older.
I know, right? It's always kind of weird to find out when things like that happen for the first time. Okay. I don't want to know. In 1976, the 12th Winter Olympic Games closes in Innsbruck, Austria. In 1977, Social Democrats win Danish parliamentary election. There you go, something for your neck of the woods, Hal. I think that was unfortunately, the only thing I found that was specific to Denmark. Anyhow, the following year, 1978, escaped mass murderer Ted Bundy is recaptured in Pensacola, Florida.
Oh.
In 1978, Leon Spinks beats Muhammad Ali in 15 for the heavyweight boxing title. In 1979, the 21st Grammy Awards, Billy Joel's Just the Way You Are and A Taste of Honey win. I'm not familiar with the latter, but I definitely have heard of Just the Way You Are.
I've definitely heard of Billy Joel.
In 1986, good year, National Assembly of the Philippines proclaim Ferdinand Marcos president for 6 more years after rigged elections against Corazon Aquino. Supercharged the EDSA People Power Revolution.
Yeah, this is, I do remember reports from back in the day and some dramatizations about how they broke into polling areas and and stole ballots and replaced ballots. And Corazon Aquino is also very well known. Totally has nothing new, but had very, very big shoe collection. She was a insane for shoes.
As many women are.
Yeah.
Are you? You don't seem to collect
I don't.
the shoes.
Well, I just don't really have a lot of room. But basically, you buy a nice pair of shoes once or twice.
Yeah.
It fits you an outfit, then you got to get a new pair to fit the new outfit.
You have a few of those, though, don't you?
Yeah, I have a few, but I need more.
Oh, okay.
I don't have feet.
If we get you a throne account, maybe we put some nice shoes on there. All right, in 1993, in 1992, the 100th episode of Cops airs on Fox. Don't know why that's necessarily on this, but hey, it's kind of noteworthy.
What you gonna do?
When they come for you. Also in 1992, Jeffrey Dahmer is found sane and guilty of killing 15.
Yeah.
So yeah, he did not get to claim insanity. In 1993, Howard Stern radio show begins transmitting to Rochester, New York. Then in 1995,
I worked in Rochester.
population of People's Republic of China hits 1.2 billion.
That's a lot of people.
Indeed, it is. It's probably even more now. In 1996, the NFL coaching maestro Bill Belichick is fired by Cleveland, finishing his Browns coaching career with a record of 36-44.
Ooh.
And for all those who aren't familiar, he ended up becoming rather famous for bringing the Patriots to victory so many times, and being accused of cheating, I believe.
Oh wow! So he just never gave up on that.
Yeah, I guess not.
36-44. Yikes!
Is that bad?
That's bad.
I mean,
he lost.
it's no wonder they fired him.
Yeah.
But hey, apparently he ended up turning things around.
Yeah.
Anyway, 1998, 40th Daytona 500, Dale Earnhardt's only Daytona win in his 20th start, snaps a 59 race winless streak. Also in 98, the Angel of the North, a large-scale steel sculpture, 20 meters or 66 feet tall, by Anthony Gormley, is installed at Gateshead, Northern England.
Cool.
Then, 2001, the first draft of the complete human genome is published in the journal Nature.
Yeah, that I found particularly interesting because in the decades leading up, it would come up in my schooling. It would be like, oh yeah, they're working on mapping out the human genome. They're, this many years away from doing it, and it was like every time it always seemed like an eternity. And it's so weird for me to look back and be like, oh yeah, they did finally do that thing that I grew up hearing about.
Yeah.
It was fascinating.
Let's see. So then, 2002, Walt Disney releases Return to Neverland, an animated film sequel to 1953's Peter Pan.
Neat. Never saw it.
2004, the 46th Daytona 500, Dale Earnhardt Jr. wins exactly 6 years to the day after his father, Dale Earnhardt Sr., won his first and only Daytona 500 in 98.
Yeah, that is absurdly impressive.
Also in 2004, the 57th British Academy Film Awards, or BAFTAs, the Lord of the Rings Return of the King film wins, and Peter Weir for Best Director.
Ah.
Then 2005, hey, happy birthday YouTube! YouTube, internet site on which videos may be shared and viewed by others, is launched in the United States.
That is crazy. I think it's that old, and then it's like, it wasn't that many years later that it was purchased by Google.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, that'll be somebody else's birthday video.
Yeah. 2011, U.S. President Barack Obama awards writer and activist Maya Angelou the Presidential Medal of Freedom.
Yeah.
And 2016, 58th Grammy Awards Best Song Thinking Out Loud by Ed Sheeran and Best Album 1989 by Taylor Swift.
Nice.
What a weird title for an album coming out in 2016.
Yeah. Not familiar with a lot of her work.
Yeah. 28 and what's that?
Oh, it's just saying, yeah, Ed Sheeran, I'm a little more familiar.
Oh, yeah. 2018, the first known case of transgender woman breastfeeding reported in Transgender Health Journal in the United States.
Fascinating. Something I've never considered. Not something I think I'd want to do,
Yeah.
but hey, you know what? Good for them.
Indeed. Then in 2019, U.S. President Donald Trump declares a national emergency to divert funds to build a border wall after signing a bipartisan spending agreement to avoid another government shutdown.
We all know how well that went.
Well, maybe they don't.
Maybe they don't. Spoiler alert. It didn't really amount to much of anything. He built a little bit more wall, and that was basically it.
Yeah. Not a great plan. Not a great planner.
Not a great plan. Like
2020, Beijing orders people returning to the city after the Lunar New Year holiday to self-quarantine for 14 days to prevent the spread of you-know-what.
Yep.
Can't say that on YouTube, apparently.
Yeah.
But you know what that is. Then, finally, in 2022, in the only podium sweep of the Beijing Winter Olympics, Germany takes all 3 medals in the 2-man bobsleigh. Francisco Frederick and Thorsten Margris win gold. As well as the revival of Meredith Willson's musical The Music Man, starring Hugh Jackman and Sutton Foster, opens at Winter Garden Theater in New York City.
Like Hugh Jackman.
Yes, I do very much enjoy Hugh Jackman.
He's a huge, jacked man.
Indeed.
Sometimes.
All right, so that's it for on this day in history. Now on to people you share a birthday with. If you were born on February 15th, you share a birthday with Galileo Galilei. Died in 1642 at age 77. If he were somehow alive today, he would be 459 years old.
Almost made it, Galileo. He
was a famous astronomer who invented the thermoscope, the precursor to the thermometer, and discovered 4 of Jupiter's moons and pioneered the idea that Earth revolved around the sun.
Yes, a crazy thing that happened, but I mean, way back then.
Mm-hmm.
If I'm not mistaken, he's the one that he went to the church or whatever agency is like, hey, the Earth revolves around the sun. Your ridiculously complex model is wrong.
Yes.
And then they're like, no. We don't believe that stuff. And then as he's walking out of the courtroom, he supposedly said, well, it revolves around the sun anyway. And he just walked out. So it's like, yeah, it's just a fact.
Yeah. He definitely caused a lot of people in the church to not like that guy. But thankfully nowadays we know he was correct and honor him greatly. Next, Susan B. Anthony, who died in 1906 at age 86. If she were somehow alive today, she'd be 203 years old. She was a suffragette reformer who led protests for women's equality and is largely known for being the first woman to be minted on a U.S. Circulating coin. She's on the dollar coin.
Yeah. A lot of times people just call it, here, we just call it a Susan B. Anthony coin.
Yes.
Like, it's not, you don't even say it's a dollar coin. It goes, oh, I got a Susan B. Anthony.
Unfortunately, I don't believe they mint those anymore. They've since been replaced by the Sacagawea dollar.
Yeah, and I'm fine. And the Sacagawea...
Which is kind of funny that they went from one woman to another woman being on the coin.
They change it up, too. Like Sacagawea, and they put several other people on the coin. So it rotates
the Statue of Liberty is on the reverse. And they started doing a whole series of the presidents on them. I don't know if they ended up doing the ones that came out after the initial run of them, but it'd be kind of interesting. Would you want the dollar coin with Donald Trump on it? I don't know. Anyhow,
it's the same.
Next, the first living famous person, Jane Seymour, turned 72 today. She is best known as Dr. Quinn, Medicine Woman. She also starred as Solitaire, Kananga's psychic, and Bond's love interest in Live and Let Die.
Yeah. You know, there was a trans person in one of those movies.
Next, Matt Groening. He turns 69 today.
Nice.
Best known as the creator of The Simpsons, Futurama, and Disenchantment.
Yes, Disenchantment. Great show.
Next, Chris Farley, who died in 1997 at age 33. If he were alive today, he'd be turning 59 today. He is best known for being in Saturday Night Live, as well as playing the main character in Tommy Boy, Black Sheep, and Beverly Hills Ninja.
Yeah, I like that movie. You know, Will Sasso was in there, uncredited.
Oh, really?
It's weird.
Is there anything else you know about Chris Farley?
Chris Farley, yeah, he was the original voice for Shrek. He apparently recorded a lot of his lines, not enough to complete the movie. So he was replaced, of course, by Mike Myers, who then also replaced himself because he decided to change the voice partway through. But yeah,
Indeed.
Can you
Or
imagine?
all the way through? Did he record all the lines and
I
then
don't
redo
think
them?
I don't think he recorded all of them.
Oh, okay.
I think he got to a certain point, decided to give Shrek an accent. But yeah, apparently you can find like little snippets of recordings of Chris Farley.
Next,
Do it,
by the way, that's it for those who have passed away. But yeah, next is Alex Borstein, who turns 52 today. She's best known as the voice of Lois Griffin.
Yes, and she also was on Mad TV for a good portion of time.
He looking like a man.
Yeah, she is most commonly known for playing Miss Swan.
He's Bunny Swan.
Yeah,
he
she
looking like a
also
man.
had a cameo in Family Guy.
And she was just in A Million Ways to Die in the West that we reviewed not too long
she was
ago.
in that. She played a very, very similar character anyway, different role in Coyote Ugly. She was a bar patron.
Patron.
Yeah, she was a patron. She didn't work at the bar,
okay.
but she was a patron, but had basically the same demeanor, which leads me to believe that's just the way she is.
Probably is.
She's basically the person who goes, what the heck is going on? Whatever.
Next, Amber Riley turns 37 today. She is best known as Mercedes Jones on Glee.
Never watched
And she
it.
also won season 17 of Dancing with the Stars. Next, Callum Turner turns 33. He is best known as Theseus Scamander in Fantastic Beasts: The Crimes of Grindelwald and the sequel movie, Secrets of Dumbledore. Or whatever. I did get to see that one. But yeah, anyhow, next, Megan Thee Stallion turns 28 today. She is best known for her song Savage, which featured Beyonce, and appeared in the She-Hulk Attorney Law Disney Plus show. At least that's how I'm familiar with her. She's also probably done a bunch of other songs you might have heard of. And lastly, Zachary Gordon, turns 25 today. He is best known for playing the titular character in the 2010s Diary of a Wimpy Kid movies.
Yes, I enjoyed those movies, but I remember mostly for Steve Zahn.
So yeah, there you go. So hopefully you enjoyed this video, Halladall, and anybody else who happens to share today's February 15th birthday.
Oh, wait, was Callum Turner the one from The Danish Girl?
What's that?
He's the main character in that movie, right?
Maybe?
Yeah, because he was in The Danish Girl, a movie about a trans person.
Oh, okay.
One of the first known who had the surgery.
Oh, okay.
So one movie that was not transphobic.
Oh. So yeah, if you enjoyed this video, give it a thumbs up. I usually don't mention this sort of thing, but hey, well, maybe it'll help people to like the video. And if you have a birthday,
I love the video.
If you'd like us to do a birthday video for you, leave it in the comments below, and we can make that happen. I got a couple other people that asked me to do one for their birthday as well, but that's not until April. So yeah, hopefully you enjoyed that. Tune in on Friday. We'll be doing a review of Marlowe, as we mentioned in our last video. And until then, bye-bye, everybody.
Bye, everybody.
Did you want to? Bye.
Bye, for reals this time.